All right, what's going on, guys? I'm Max with Hardwater Freaks, and today I'm going to do a little tips, tricks review and just tell you about the bait coolers that I like to use. So everybody knows what these are. These are angle coolers. So first and foremost, this is the 7.5, this is the 13, this is the 19, and this is the 30. I've paid for all of these, so my review and what I have to say about them is definitely matters. So don't think like I got these for free and they're telling me to do this, because they're not. I'm going to do this straight from what I honestly believe. So first and foremost, the 7.5 is a great size to use for solo missions or maybe 1-2 guys at most. But I would say solo mission, 1 guy, this is great. The 13, 2 people. The 19, 3 to 4 people. And the 30, I use this as storage bait, so it stays in the garage or in the truck, or when I take out big groups of veterans or kids, I'll take this with a ton of shiners in there. So if I had to say, I'd say 3 dozen rosy reds or a dozen shiners. I'd say 2 dozen shiners or 3 to 5 dozen rosy reds. I'd say 5 dozen rosy reds or 2 to 3 dozen shiners in here. And I'd say, oh my God, you could do 5-6 dozen shiners and probably 100 dozen rosy reds in this one. So I use this one on small one-man missions. I'll use this when it's like me and one other person. I'll use this when it's like 3 or 4 people, and I'll use this one when I'm doing big groups. Otherwise, this one stays in the garage as storage in between big outings. Little tip right here, this is Engel's new Airators. These came out last year. We played a role in doing the product testing on these guys, and then this one came after it. I'll let you guys hear how quiet these are. Both of these are on right now. This is the new aerator right here. This is the XL. This is just the traditional one. Both of them are on. Both of them have the option to increase or decrease the air that comes out, and both of them have the option right there to you click the little clock button, and that's going to let you have it go from on off, intermittent, sorry, but it'll go on and off, and you'll get twice as much battery pretty much out of that. This one's good for like 2.5, 3 days. This one's good for about a day, day and a half. I would say I would take this one on a weekend if you don't want to have to charge it. This one's great for day trips. Charge it at night. So check these out. Engel's lithium ion aerators. Super quiet. All right, so a couple tips here. Vaseline petroleum jelly. That stuff is great, and that goes for all bait coolers. It doesn't matter what brand bait cooler you're using. Grab some of that stuff and put it on the rim of every single one of your bait buckets before a trip and every so often throughout the whole ice season. This is going to stop freeze-ups on any of the bait buckets. Use this. This has nothing to do with Engel. All the bait buckets, put a little bit on the edges of every single one of them. That's going to help you prevent from freeze-ups. That goes for cheap little styrofoam guys like this guy. All bait buckets. All right, next little tip. You'll see on the end of my aerator, depth weight. Little depth weight. Pretty much a chunk of metal with a clamp. Put that inside the actual bait cooler. That's going to keep your aerator at the bottom, allowing maximum oxygen flow through the water column. Okay, I upgrade from what comes with the coolers. I go with a little bit longer hose just because I like to sometimes have the aerator off to the side. I move the aerator around. I also like to do things like this. I'll strap the aerator on sideways. The way that the aerator is supposed to go is like this. But in some scenarios, depending on what sleds I'm using, I like to have it like this. So you can also use it like this. No harm, no foul. The charger's still accessible, the whole deal. Another little tip. Your little nets here, make sure you clean them every few weeks. I would say, every other week. I clean mine, scrub it with soap, do a bunch of water washes on it. That just keeps deadly bacteria, viruses, and things like that from building up on it, and it's just pure filthy. I would say last little tip, keep one of these, some sort of little bucket. This is just a little paint sample bucket from Home Depot, one of their HDX buckets. I have one of these, so when I do water changes, okay? Water changes are huge. I do one every single day that I'm fishing. I'll ditch 50% of the water, and then I'll re-add lake water to it. So this keeps the water fresh, keeps the minnows extra alive, and especially if you hit the same lake multiple times, this keeps them acclimated to that kind of water, because that does matter when you're talking about flowages or super clear water lakes, spring-fed lakes, I should say, and all that other stuff. So that's also huge for me. That's pretty much it for me. Like I said, that's the 7.5, 13, 19, and the 30. These are the aerators that I really like to use. These are the Angle Coolers aerators. You can find all this stuff on anglecoolers.com. Thanks for checking this video out, guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace.